Come on. Right, up to this hand. Go on, back. There we go. Go on, up to this hand. Go. Come on. Don't go to failure and then put it down. I want you to hit that spot, and then I'll tell you what I want you to do then. These are the ones now. Come on. Good. Here we go. Come on. You're off my hand. Go. Come on, and again.
Wasn't it? Shit, where are you? In the fucking broom cupboard?
This is my office.
That's his bedroom.
Oh, it's yes, it's packed, isn't it?
Yeah, this is all the dog stuff. Well, it's because this is the only place where Alice has no control. So she just throws all the shit in there. She doesn't mind if it's like
including you.
Yes, including me. I'm banished to this. But yeah, it's just there's a massive dog crate there as well. So
that's
like,
your bedroom, isn't it?
Yeah. This is the of my version of the naughty step.
Yeah, when he tells people he's getting married in July.
Yeah, that went down like a sack of shit.
Last week, just to fill you in, guys. Last week he announced on the podcast he was getting married in July. Turns out he's getting married in June.
Yeah, Alice overheard it. I was corrected fast, swift and fast. And with her being 2 weeks out, obviously. The issue was exacerbated, shall we say?
Oh dear!
It wasn't the last you heard of it then.
Not really. Don't hit a man with glasses.
All I'll say on that subject is, when you're really in the shit is when Lisa doesn't swear.
Ah, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Starts using your full name.
Have you been around then?
I think it's a female thing.
Really, the only time you really be aware is when I say, "Can I have a word?"
I've had that one.
You've had that a few times, haven't you, babe?
I actually had one last week because a handbrake turned on the way into the car park and I shouldn't have. Welcome back to episode 19 of Bash Bros podcast. This week we have my long-term friends and mentors, Mike and Leica Gelsei. But for those who don't know who Mike and Leica Gelsei are, although it seems like in Wales and in the UK, they are incredibly well known. I shall bring up their page, usual sort of routine. That's not their page.
That is not the page.
Careful, Johnny, careful.
Uh-oh.
That's okay, Paul. I cleared my history before we started.
Yeah,
so
wise. A seasoned veteran, you've done this before, you have.
Not my first rodeo. So yeah, head over, give them a follow, guys. I mean, obviously they're mostly involved in the coaching aspects of things now, but they have a long and rich history in bodybuilding, which I'll give them the honor of telling us about. So if you don't mind, either one of you, I suppose. Lisa's the main talker, but I don't know.
Lisa's the mouthpiece, yeah. I must admit, John, I've never seen the Instagram page, so that was interesting. Was I not supposed to say that? Shit. I was like, oh, look at that. Oh, never seen that. No, I never seen that before. So that
there's some wonderful pictures of you on there, Lisa.
Oh, they were very interesting. Somebody, I got to be fair, somebody said to me, oh, thanks for the reply on Instagram.
No.
Yeah.
Nah, on me. Sorry, lost me on that one. Never been on Instagram. Fuck knows. So, anyway, who are you?
We're going into the introduction.
Yeah, go on. And apparently that's the done thing.
Ladies first.
My name's Leica Gelsei, and I'm an alcoholic. No, I'm not really an alcoholic. Before I put that out there, that was a joke. Don't touch yourself. Right, what do you want to know? Right, I've been in it forever and a day. At the moment, as Johnny said, we're really focusing on I am personal training, because obviously at the moment shows are a little bit on the back burner, for the want of a better word, which again for all of us has been a little bit of a blow, whether it be as a competitor or as a promoter as we are. So at the moment, personal training is great, but at this precise moment in time, because we've gone down into yet another local lockdown, I'm fucked. So I have dropped probably about 90% of my clients, because all my clients come from outside of the our county, which has been a bit of a blow, but obviously I haven't lost them. They've just, again, we're going back to FaceTimes and things like that, which is not the best, but it is what it is. Competitively, I stopped competing in 2001. It's a little bit of a time, but I still do everything as if I was still competing. I still eat the same, train the same, still think I'm a 21-year-old man, but apparently I'm not. Still trying to move as much weight as I did, not as a 21-year-old man, you understand? But I just absolutely love training and everything about it. Still as passionate about it now as I was.
Tell them what category you were in.
I was in men's physique, heavyweight bodybuilding. So I used to compete as a heavyweight female bodybuilder. And the only thing I don't do now is eat the food of a 70-kilo female bodybuilder. But other than that, I still do exactly the same. I still put myself stupid goals, which keeps me young. And obviously, having the love of a good young man helps. So, hiya, Laz. How you doing, babe? So that's about me, really. And you come along for the ride, don't you?
Yeah. I'm just a hanger-on. Really.
yeah.
Cling on.
Yeah.
No, I started, as you did, really. You started going to the gym through karate, which we both did, because we met when we both used to fight for the Welsh team many moons ago. And then it's sort of the gym took over, really. So, which, like everybody else, we started training first and then competing. Initially my last show was around the 2001. I didn't compete for a few years, but then I competed again as a master. When I think I was coaching somebody else, decided to compete again. It was the Stars of Tomorrow show in London. Then I started competing internationally abroad then as a masters competitor. So I've done Europeans and World Championships. But in the meantime, we sort of got into the running shows initially, because the show we run used to be run by Paul Grant, who was in Pumping Iron. He died early 2000s. Then we took the show on in his name, and it just sort of went from there. Then we got involved with the UKBFF.
Yeah, because of course the thing is, I didn't mention judging and everything. When I stopped competing, I started judging. So then from judging, as you say, nationally to internationally. So obviously as Mike was competing internationally, I was judged the Europeans, Worlds, Arnold Schwarzenegger Classics, Amateur Olympias, judged for NABA right the way through nationally, then obviously up to the universe. We, as part of a 6-man team, we formed the PCA, took a step back from the PCA, and then we really more or less did our show as part of, under the Body Power banner, which we still run. Done Body Power for ever, since day one, in one way or another. And as you say then, as I was off the stage judging, Mike was on the stage, whether it had been a stage marshal or competing.
Yeah, or emceeing shows, etc. But so, I mean, for one time when we were traveling all over the country and pretty much, different parts of the world as well. So we've had good experiences. Like I remember the one year at the Arnold in Madrid, I was on stage at the pro show and I was telling the guys where to stand, etc. But I was with Phil Heath. That was the year Phil Heath had just won the Olympia, and then he competed in that show 2 weeks later. So it was Phil, Kai, all the guys. So there's not many people can say they stood on stage. Okay, I was fully clothed, but I was on stage with those guys, you know, and it's been a brilliant experience. You know, we've we have worked with pretty much every major federation as well. We do a bit of judging with NABA now as well. So, you know, we've worked with them all over the years. So got experiences on pretty much all sides of bodybuilding, really.
Yeah, made some great friends as well.
Yeah.
You know, obviously you lot, fucking hell, whatever. But, you know, good friends. Like. And, no, but we have been really, really lucky to meet so many amazing, not just competitors, but people, you know, and it is, we have been lucky. It's taken its toll on us at times, because there's been times where literally, John, you know, I get in the car at the end of a day where I'm finishing at 9 o'clock, get in the car, he drives us to wherever, and I wouldn't have a clue where we're going. And I'd literally have to get in the car and literally say to him, right, where are we going? Are we in the UK? Are we abroad? Or what are we doing? And I wouldn't know from one day to the next, because it was just weekend after weekend. And I'm not complaining at all, because we met incredible people and I've had such wonderful experiences. But it's been full on, hasn't it? You know, yeah. So, but yeah, it's good.
So, as the host of the podcast, it's kind of my job to tease some interesting stuff out of you.
No, I will not go out with you on Friday night. I told you earlier. Oh, sorry, Mike. Yeah, go on, John. You were saying, go on.
Right. So you left the UKBFF after a long time being with them. Was there any controversial circumstances around that you would want to discuss?
We lost you a little bit there, John.
Were there any controversial circumstances that can be discussed, or are they things that would be best kept off air?
Well, no, I mean, the main reason for us leaving was because of that it was taking its toll. They say that definitely 1 year, I mean, with as far as shows, we used to run posing courses as well for the UKBFF. And we were away 50 weekends out of, 52 weeks of the year. So it was the traveling, and, it was taking its toll as us as a family, because even Laz was starting to come with us in the latter stages as well, because he started doing stats, etc. And then, yeah, there was probably, a few things that we weren't keen on.
Yeah, but really, I think to sum it up in one thing, it wasn't fun anymore. It wasn't fun anymore. It wasn't, the best part about that intensity for me was the competitors. I just loved mingling with them, spending time with them, talking to them. And it started to get that best bit was being taken away because of the intensity, what we had to do. It just was just all consuming, because at the time, obviously, I was membership secretary. And for us as a married couple, as much as I ripped the piss out of him and everything else, he is still my husband. But it got to the point we were business partners. That's all we were, right? And it was like, this is not fun anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. And we got to the point it felt as if we were sacrificing us for everybody else. And it didn't bother me, but it was just literally got to the point that the only time I literally visibly would look at him would be up on the stage. And it's that, I'm not doing this anymore. It's not fun, and really that's where it got to the point.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm sure quite a few of you know, and certainly a few people out there, when we decided that enough was enough and we pulled back, we felt we were doing it the right way. The first people we spoke to was obviously the head of the federation, and we did everything else. And for some reason, it didn't quite go the way we were hoping. And then the next show that we went to, that took a little bit of a turn that we weren't hoping for, was when we went to the Nationals and we were banned and escorted off the area. It was like,
escorted out by the security guard.
That wasn't awkward, especially seeing we'd seen him every year before and we'd become quite friendly with him. And literally we walked in civvies, just in clothes, no banners, no gym names, no nothing. And literally to go up there and say, hi everyone, bye everyone, apparently we're leaving now then, okay. And then that was the point then, it was like that, fuck that shit, we're out, that's it, job done. And really, that's then was the time it was like, absolutely 100% we made the right decision. Definitely.
Yeah, so that particular individual, there are all sorts of rumours of the corruption within the UKBFF. There's no juicy scoops for us, so you keep thinking about what you can and can't say.
Oh no, the thing is, that part of us is gone. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, there's nothing that we could say that could make that situation any better or any worse.
No, I know, yeah, I get
Right?
that.
So, but I mean, the thing is there corruption in the UKBFF? There's politics in every federation, right? And when it comes down to it, the politics in any federation really, honestly and truthfully, has nothing whatsoever to do with the competitors. And as long as the competitors still get the experience they want out of competing, that they enjoy their day, they meet people, they make friends, and they have the experience they want, the politics is bullshit. It makes, and really it's not politics, it is bullshit. That then it really doesn't matter. But as long as every competitor gets the day they want, they have a fair judging process, they come away with the results and the feedback that they know they can work with and go forward with, that's all that really matters. And that's all that ever mattered to us. But when it started to get, the bullshit was a little bit heavy, it's like, fucking pull this shit, I'm out, I'm done, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Good answer.
Thank you.
one other thing, which you didn't mention when you did the introductions, I know you were involved in the discovery of Flex Lewis back in the day, or you were involved in his early days anyway. Do you want to delve into that a little bit? I mean, given that he's going to be going into the open class this year and stuff, and you know, it's really.
I mean, well, Flex. It was Paul Grant was still alive. Yeah, Flex did the show as a junior.
Yeah.
And obviously, Flex. I mean, you could see he was something special right from the start. So I let Lisa tell the story, but is it 3 people that have made you as a judge? Yeah. There's 3 people that have made just put a book down, push back, and just sit and watch. Flex was one of them. Tell me who the other 2 were.
Sean Tavernier was the second one. He walked out as a first timer. Fuck my life. He walked out and I was like, give him the pro card now. Just give it to him. Stop the bullshit, just give it to him. Absolutely outstanding physique. And the third one is Dean White. He walked out as a junior, and again, that boy has got potential. So 3 physiques, all walked out as juniors or the first timer, literally shut the book, push it back, sit back and admire what's in front of you. And that's the thing as a judge, you know, I just have such respect for competitors because I know how hard it is to get there, but I watch people go through their prep and everything else and what it takes to get them to the point that they are. Utmost respect for them. And as a judge, I think it's my responsibility to make sure when I judge to make sure they have the results they deserve. And those 3 guys walked out, and as you say, Flex, when he first walked out as a junior, whoa, that boy got a perfect future in front of him. Sean was another one, and as they say, Dean White was the other. And Dean is still fresh, so it's so good to see that those athletes are still coming through. They're still filtering through. The potential for pros in this country is definitely still alive. But Flex has set the way for them all, definitely.
So, I mean, sort of going back to Flex, yes. So, I mean, the first time we saw him was at that show, and I remember it was him and Jordan Jones, who runs UFIT in Cardiff. Now, probably at the time, it was always close between those 2 because I mean, we were coaching Jordan at the time, and I remember being backstage at the British finals in Nottingham. And again, it was between the 2 of them, and it was pretty close. You could almost, at one time, I would have said that probably Jordan had the better physique, but it was just Flex took it and ran with it. And he just literally packed himself up, went to America, and obviously the rest is history, as they say. But yeah, Flex is I'm not saying it's like every week by any means, but he'll still message me every so often. He's a few months ago, he sent me a pic of the year that he when he won his pro card at the British, and we all went out for a meal afterwards. He said, "Oh, look what I found." So he still keeps in touch, which is really nice. As far as him in the open class, I remember it was the very first Arnold in Madrid. He did the open class there. It was the year that Victor Martinez won and got locked up on his way back into America because he didn't have the green card. It was that year. Dexter came second, and we actually had Dexter winning, actually. So, it was close between them two. And I think, if memory serves me correctly, that Flex came fourth.
Yeah.
So that was an open class. And don't forget, he was a 202 competitor then. He wasn't 212. So, he stood his ground then. And obviously, he's improved massively since then. So,
and the thing is, obviously we've been there often when Flex has had to do weigh-ins, and he really has to fight to get that weight. He really has to work in those last couple of hours to make sure that weight is in. So that boy has the potential to put on so much more. He's always trying to contain himself to stay in that class. So the fact he's going open, to me, is limitless for Flex.
The only thing that I'd say is at his height, if he tries to come in too big, is he going to look a little bit blocky?
No, never.
Well, what works in his favour is last year at the Olympia, the top two were shorter guys, weren't they? So
absolutely
right. that should go in his favour.
How much taller or shorter is he than Bonac, though?
About the same height, I think.
Yeah, because I remember William doing the 202 class in the year, it was one of our last years with the UKBFF, when we had the Manchester show. And it was an expo. We moved away from Nottingham and ran it in Manchester. And there was a pro show, and there was a 202. And I think Bonac came 5th or 6th maybe that year, and Flex won it. So, height-wise, they are roughly about the same. So what does Bonac compete at roughly at the moment?
230
God,
something?
I've no idea. But, I don't think there's any room for anything else on him.
No.
He hit a second place. Can't remember what year that was. After COVID, I've completely forgotten my timeline of existence. But it's like fucking forever.
Yeah.
So if Bonac can do it.
Yeah. And as you say, the thing is, that's with Flex suppressing, keeping himself in that packet. So if he's allowed to come out of it, it's endless for him. Endless. Because he can.
Talking to Derek, we had Derek on, didn't we? I always mispronounce his second name, so I don't bother.
Lunsford.
And he was.
Derek Lunsford.
Dirt Lundrum. So, from the Rocky films, and he was just saying, he has to fucking die to keep the thing. So, I know, Flex has been perfecting that physique within his weight class. Yeah. And now something he's been suppressing, his body's probably fucking raring to just smash the mass on.
Absolutely right. And as you say, that's the thing, when you see him, and he exactly that, has to fight so hard to stay in there that he gets to the scales and he is ready to just fucking flake. So as soon as he's scaled, he can put a bit of, food and water back in him. But if he doesn't have to, he's just going to be allowed to just get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And the good thing about him, he's not afraid to do that.
No.
There was a photo the other day, because obviously we had Kamal on you a few weeks ago. There was a photo of him stood next to Kamal, and I know obviously it's not nothing to really compare. I'm trying to see if I can find it, but Flex is making Kamal look tiny.
It's on Kamal's page, bud.
I can't see it at the minute.
It's not there.
Well, if I was Kamal, I would have taken it down.
but if it's anything to go by, then obviously it's
as you said though, it's like its potential has been restricted. So given that showing that photo just proves that Flex has got a lot more in him to go.
Yeah,
levels. So would you say, because this is a question from Jamie Price, he asked obviously of the years of you judging, who was your most memorable person to judge? So would Flex be the one?
Now, tricky. That's a tricky. So truly, there's many, and I will get on to people like that. But really, the most memorable is him.
Oh,
For all the wrong reasons. Because he was
Look
the
at that
hardest
pouch.
person I've ever had to judge.
Yeah, so this was the Europeans, wasn't it? So Lisa had started judging internationally, and it was the first international show that I did. It was in Hungary, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was the Masters World Championships, but there was weight categories. So there was, I did the light heavies. There's weight categories within and over 40s as well. So Lisa was judging, and she said to the Pavel, the head judge from Poland, she said, Pavel, my husband's in the light heavyweights, so maybe I shouldn't judge. And he said, you're a good judge. I will put you where I see fit. So, and she put him as judge in my category.
Wow.
So, and Lisa, what did you place me? 4th. No, but that was the thing.
What was your result?
I came 4th. So,
yeah.
So I know 100% that when Lisa judges anybody, she'll put them exactly where she sees fit. If she can judge me, and obviously she knew what I went through to get to that show, but it's like, well, looking at the lineup, and she had me 4th place, and that's where I ended up.
Yeah, so I mean, that was probably the most memorable, but also then the most memorable judging that I did was when we went to the Olympia. And that was a turning point for me then for judging, because when I sat there right behind the judges line and judged those Olympians, I thought, this is way easier than amateur. Judging the Olympians is way easier than amateur, because with amateurs, the lineup can be so varied that you are really fighting to find the best to come forward. But when you've got 12 of the best, it's so easy to see little imperfections then. So actually, the higher and the more improved the athlete is, the easier it is to judge it. That's the easiest one. But the standouts, obviously then, as we said earlier, were my 3 that I've already picked, and it was Flex, Sean, and Dean.
So in summary, you shafted your husband.
Yep, big time. Well, to be fair, gotta get a little payback somewhere.
I love it. So does anybody else have questions, but rather than me talking all the time?
So I'll go. So we spoke about your most memorable sort of judging moment. What's the sort of strangest or funniest thing you've seen, either on stage or backstage? Because obviously you've been to a lot of shows. What's the strangest or funniest thing you've ever seen at a show?
Oh, Lisa's got one already. She's got one already.
Oh, fuck me, man. Right. Before we go any further, this is not directed at anyone in particular, man.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. It's like, the worst is there's two things. As a judge, one, the outfit shit, that fucking mask and outfit shit, leave the fucking shit behind the stage. Just bring your physique out. Why people think wearing a white fucking glove and wearing a fucking hat is going to improve your physique, I hate it. I hate it. Outfits, fucking forget them. And the other thing is, boys, whatever you do, right, whatever you think, no judge is looking what's in your trunks. So if you feel at any point that you feel you should enhance what's in your trunks before you come out, please don't, because if anything, you're making it worse. Because then all of a sudden, I will stop looking at you. Because as a female judge, I'm not impressed with a lazy lob or your fucking socks tucked down your pants. It ain't helping. So
what about the one you told me years ago about the person who took Viagra?
Well, that's what I mean. Were you walking out with a lazy lob on? It's like, dude,
No, but you told me it was like proper, like.
it was. Extent, it was so bad. It was thrust so bad that his trunks were off his fucking legs. It's like, no, and the other one.
He doesn't get to do a quarter turn.
No, and boys, whatever you do, check the fucking ball bags in the sack. Fucking hell.
I don't have
When
that
you
problem.
walk out,
I got
like,
tiny balls.
in-betweeners and you've got a nut hanging out your fucking bag. It's like,
Cheeky
oh,
nut. Cheeky nut.
that shit ain't funny. No.
We're-
So
we're
yes,
gonna
they're the
pause
things
there.
you try and think about. Yes.
I got a confession.
No. No, please. Please don't say you sat there with a lazy lob or your nut hanging out.
No. Obviously, you know we done body power.
Yes.
I wore my tan sock on under my fucking.
Oh, we've all done that.
Because it
It's
was
only
cold.
because, that's different. That just makes it look like normal size. Because
Yeah, I didn't.
obviously
I
show
look at
day,
the size.
it looks like a fucking mushroom.
Yeah, there was nothing there anyway. I was just like, this fucking freezing. Like, I'm gonna have to wear this because it's cold. Like,
Nah, you were just enhancing it again, that's all.
I got nothing to announce.
The thing is, though, really, when you stand in there with nothing in your trunks, it makes no never minds because I'm not looking at your trunks. I'm looking what's above it and what's below it. But when you stand there and literally, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I don't think Lisa's talking about this tanning sock.
Oh, Jesus. But of course, the thing is, though, a few things to think about when you step out on stage. Me, I'm a greedy judge. So I will start judging you from the minute your toe steps onto that stage. So unfortunately, everybody does it differently, but my top 5 are already picked before you turn around and hit your first pose. Because when you walk out, you give all the games away. The bellies are hanging out. You're not doing making any effort, but you think I'll start as soon as I turn and face the judge. It's a bit late. I've already seen your derby touching your knees and your arsehole touching your heels. Nah, too late. So be aware when you step out, I start judging the minute the toe steps onto the stage and I finish when your heel leaves it. And I continue to judge the entire time.
Yeah, the way I describe it is I tell competitors, imagine you're being judged by a panel of Lisas because she's got eyes like a shithouse rat and does not miss a trick. So, but you imagine at qualifiers, when you've got maybe half a dozen people, there is no hiding place because when she's done judge at the Arnold and you've got 57 competitors in one class and you've literally got to place every single one of them, that's a big ask, so and it's got to be done as quick as you can.
So really on one of the memorable ones, that's right, that was the biggest, 57 men's physique. That was the class that Ryan Terry won and went on to win his pro card. 57 athletes, literally, and you had to place every one of them. Number 57, oh shit. It was, but again, you do. And so again, experiences.
So another way I describe it to people is quite often I at shows I'm on stage either telling the competitors where to stand or emceeing the show. So there could be a category coming on. I'm looking at the front, looking at Lisa, and I can see her. You can imagine as judges, they're there to do a job, but it's physique after physique all day long. So I can literally see her as soon as a category walks on. I can see her sit up. And I know before I even look, there's going to be a good one in that category. So, you've got to think of that every time you're stepping on stage. It's like you've got to sit up and make the judges notice.
Yeah. But then also, as much as I do that, and you have such great expectations for this one individual. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, they start posing then.
Well, that was shit. Right, okay, then move on. So as you say, the thing is, once you've got those judges and you've caught them, and I don't mean this, with any disrespect whatsoever, but impress them, because then that's your opportunity to show all your hard work off. So once you've got them, keep them working, make them interested. And I love to see a physique develop as they pose. It's the best. And that's why I have the utmost respect for competitors. But if you truly think about competing, as all of you have, there's 5 aspects for judging. Symmetry is king. Symmetry, balance, proportions, conditions applicable to your class, and overall stage presence. Number 5, you get those 5 things in, you're on a winner. So it's not the competitors with the best body part, it's the one that's the most symmetrical. It's the one with the most balance, proportions, conditions applicable to the class, and overall stage presence. They're your 5 guides. So if they're my guides, they should be yours as well. Because if you bring those, you know you're doing well. Sorted.
Nice.
Ask me another.
I think Dan was taking notes then, were you, Dan?
Because he was going, oh, fucking... Well, I saw him sit up on one bit. Hang on, get the traps down a bit, get the shoulders out.
I'm like literally, there's so much shit in here. I can only really sit in one position. Well, there's 2. Like, yeah, so I've only got 1, and here, and then here.
Sit back. You look twice the size.
That's it.
Yeah, oh, fuck, you know, I'm sitting back there. There we go. Look, he's on it. He's growing.
My eyes are so shit. I can't see what's going on if I'm back there. So, what I took from that was you just get really massive and vaguely and disgusting, and then that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
and tuck your left nut.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't got any nuts.
When you look like that, once you've tucked the left nut in, go backstage and bring the competitors out. That's the one.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have any nuts. They're distant dreams.
Aw. Bit like you, babe.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I didn't know packing your front bum was a thing.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
I didn't know that was actually a thing. So
Ooh.
so that's a top tip if I've ever heard one. Don't do it. Definitely doing it next time.
Well, put it like this. As long as your chest is further out than your front packet, you should be okay.
All right, cool. So just do more chest.
Yes. You got it.
Okay.
You got it. In
Cool.
one.
Yeah, there you go.
Result.
Think tank.
Right. Questions? Anyone else got questions? No.
I'll sling another note.
I didn't even know who we had on, so I didn't even put it up to ask questions.
What about questions for you? You can have questions for yourself as well, mind, Dan.
Well, my brain doesn't work quite that quickly. Give me a second.
Yeah, did you say? Yeah, did you say?
When was the first Body Power show? Did you do Body Power? Were you the first? Was it 2012 or?
Yeah, we've been involved in it since right at the beginning. So the first.
When was the first show?
Yeah, it was UKBFF. So we used to have shows there, and then when that first started, the shows were literally just in the middle, right in the middle of the expo. Quite a small stage. You could hear everything that was going on everywhere, and you're trying to MC that, and it was a nightmare.
I do remember because I did that, and you were there.
Yeah.
And the lighting was.
Shit.
Yes.
And do you remember the stage and the judges' tables were actually touching? So you were level with the. It was fuck me. You saw every pimple on the arsehole on that one.
But there was no physique. Physique didn't exist then.
True.
Yeah, no bikini.
It's funny to think about Body Power now with everyone just walking around with their tops off trying to do coke off each other's fucking.
I tell him, but he just won't listen. He does it every fucking time.
I remember the one year at Body Power, I was emceeing the show. We had Phil Heath was up on stage to give out trophies, and Phil said to me at the side of the stage, he said, "Oh, let's get the crowd going, and I'll take my top off and hit a few shots." But it was like trying to pull fucking teeth. And it was terrible. So he just took his top off and hit a few shots in the end.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, so that's amazing.
I do remember, the crowd at that were like passers by, like, what's this weird little side thing going on? Where's Gymshark? They were like, it's a bodybuilding. So what's bodybuilding?
Yeah, so I mean, that was for the first few years, but obviously we left the UK BFF. Let's just say that they didn't want us to be there, but Nick Orton, who runs Body Power, said, I'll have whoever I like. So we went and we
That was
what was it? It was called hardcore bodybuilding, but there was no equipment or anything. It was just like a meet and greet, and it was really good. And it was like, it wasn't far from where the UK BFF show was, so everybody was coming over talking. And then that sort of went then to the following year. We started putting equipment on the area, and then when we started doing the live training sessions and getting other people involved, and so yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, because what is it now? It's the evolution of bodybuilding.
It was the evolution of bodybuilding, but yeah, I don't really know what's happening with Body Power. Whether
we don't even know it'd be now.
No, exactly, but
yeah. But no, it was good. And of course, then on that stand is where we've done some Q&As with the likes of Flex Wheeler and what have you. And obviously then I've done training sessions with people. So as much as judging has been a very, very big part of certainly my life, the personal training side of things is just the biggest part and probably the bit that I enjoy most. And I'm in training with some incredible athletes, really, really are, and pushing them through, especially at Body Power. And as everybody knows, when you've got to train anyway, you train to your optimum, but when you've got to train in front of so many people who are watching and all eyes on you, it's another level. It's another level, and I absolutely thrive on it, and I love it.
So the 1 year, like literally, you were training James. So in these sessions, Lisa would take him through the session, and I'd have the microphone on, and I'd be explaining to the crowd what she was doing. And the 1 year, Jamie Derega, and I mean, he is probably one of the hardest training people that we've ever trained. And he was literally, he passed out on his feet. And Lisa had to hold him up and say, right, you've got to carry on with this now, Jay.
Not now. I say not now.
But yeah, he was literally out on his feet, wasn't he?
Because I was talking to Johnny about this earlier, and we had a very similar session, didn't we? Holding his hands, going, doing lunges, and I was going, everybody's watching you now, John. Everybody's watching you. Don't let me down now. Don't let me down now. Get off the fucking floor. It's fucking brilliant. And I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Like Mike and Lisa's special, but like that particular incident was one that ironically I volunteered for. And I think it was only like third exercise in or something. And I'm literally, I pride myself on training hard for legs. By literally holding Lisa's hand, trying to stand up, and she is saying to me, John, everyone's looking at you. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, John. And I'm like, but I can't do it. And she's like, shut up and fucking do it. I'm like, but yeah, it scar you. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. To be fair, me and Jack have had a little run-in and all, haven't we, love?
What, Shaking Stevens?
Yeah.
No, I can remember I think it was on a pole down. I think it was a pole down.
Pole dance.
A pole down.
Right.
And I thought I was done with the set, so I went to let go. And basically Lisa pushed me back in and said, I'll tell you when you're fucking done.
He said to me, I'll do 2 more. You fucking what? I'll do 2 more. You do fucking 22 more. Okay. And he fucking did those 22. Yep.
But how much noise did he make though?
To be fair, he didn't make any noise because it was just a little dribble of wee came out instead. So he was fine. He was fine.
His eyes.
How many twitches did he do?
Sorry?
That was before the twitching, John.
Right.
Twitching.
Yeah, that was close. So you do that again, I'll punch you full in the nose. Okay, I won't do that again. Good boy. Yeah.
That sort of hard, because you both are known for your sort of hardcore training methods. Where did that sort of develop from? Was that something you always did when you trained and it just carried over into your personal training, or?
So no matter what we've taken somebody through, we've always either done that or worse to ourselves.
Yeah.
I was saying this earlier, Mike, because Mike is the only, like, one of very few people I know who you can watch training legs, and at face value, if you look at the weight he's lifting, you think, oh, why does he look like he's in pain? But if you look at the set, he's doing everything in his power to make that harder, to the point whereby only people who have actually been there and done it would understand it. But Mike does that without any accolade. Like, he won't tell anyone. He'll just go and do it. And I mean, obviously, yeah, that's how it should be, but it's rare these days. I've seen Mike stick like 4 plates on the leg press, whereas he could probably do a million reps with that. But the point is that he can make it so hard that he'll only end up getting 20 reps. But there's only certain types of people who can do that, I think.
And that's right. But I think as well, for us now, as we get older, right, the thing is, we're lucky in as far as all our limbs, everything is still all right. It's
apart from the nerve damage in my shoulder, but
apart from him. But of course, the thing is, what you find is there's certainly a lot of people, when they get past 45, 46, 50s, 51, legs are something they really, really try and stay away. Well, you know, it hurts, but certainly for us, especially for you, that is something that is, you know, what we say about goals and things like that, there's always goals. And that is, no matter how old he gets, he always wants to improve what he did on legs last week, whatever. And as you say, not necessarily weight, it may be reps, time and attention, all sorts of, and I think the worst thing is the pair of us together. Now, I won't lie to you boys, I'm a fucking twat when it comes to training with you, if you train with me. Mike is good cop, bad cop. That's how it works. But if there's worse than me, is us. If you get the pair of us together, it's fucking lethal. Because the trouble is, and we do this to ourselves, if I do 15 reps, he'll do 20. If he do 20, fuck it, I'm going to do fucking 30. If I do 30, he's like, fuck you, I'm doing 50. So that shit and all the time and attentions and the holds and all that sort of nonsense, the lunges with the bars over the head and things like that, is what we do to each other to try and outdo each other. So as much as it's competitive, it's great because I take that onto my clients. Or even if we have a piece of kit, right? Well, according to the label, it does A, B, and C. Let's see if I can do D, E, E, F, G, A, and we'll just do as much as we can with that piece of kit as possible. So,
you talk about legs, Lise. That's my little party trick. Like, if I take somebody new to the gym, they go, whose legs are they on that up there? I'm like, that's Mike's. And they're like, no way. I was like, he still got them. Mike, come here. Show me your legs in the middle of the gym. Whoop, down come the trousers. He does the quad shake, and I'm like,
give him a little shake, and off he goes. Yeah.
But you do hear it, don't you? They say, "Oh, the legs are the first thing to go," you know. But I don't think it's that. It's the heart is the first thing to go. You know, the mind. It's like, and I get it. Maybe after 30 odd years of training, people just don't want to push themselves that much anymore. So I can understand it. I don't do it because I still really, that's the part I really enjoy, just seeing how far I can push myself. So I think it's the mind that stops people doing it rather than physically. You know, you can still move, you can still fucking train.
And that's it. And as a few of you know, and I say it often, this is, it's such a mentally challenging sport. Physically, yeah, okay, it is. But as I always say, it's 70-30. 30% is mental ability, 30% is physical ability, 70% is mental ability. If you're willing to push yourself through barriers that you always put up, that's what's going to make the difference. That's the difference between a winner and somebody who's having a go. Oh, I'll have a go. Don't have a go. Do it. Do it. And I think as well, I do that a lot with my clients. And at the moment, I've got quite a few people that have come on board, good bodybuilders, and I'm just changing their mindset, and they are just getting so much from it. I was with somebody on Thursday, and how much weight are we having? No, that's it. Yeah, but there's nothing on it. Yeah, I know. But should I put some? No. But no. Just get on the fucking thing, right? Okay, so you got on it. No,
maybe.
No, yeah, no. Thursday I had a good day. I had 3 men and I fucked them all over on legs. It was a happy day. But as I said, the thing is, it's just for people to understand, weight is not proof of strength. You know, strength has got to be, and as Mike said, it comes from the heart, it comes from what's inside you. So, I mean, all of you, sorry, apart from Dan, that we've actually trained together, know that I will get the best out of you, whether it's with a 1 kilo dumbbell or 1,000 kilo dumbbell. It doesn't matter.
Literally, I've seen you make people cry with a 1 kilo dumbbell.
Yeah, and I wasn't just hitting them with it. No,
You know, but also what you said earlier, John. Yeah, it's just the thing is, hard training should be something that everybody aims for and strives for all the time. You know, and the problem you've got is, you know, people can put what they like on social media, but you see all these Instagram videos, and what the fuck is up with all this high-fiving and hugging after a fucking set? You should be training like that all the fucking, no, you should be training like that all the time. It's nothing to celebrate. It's just get in there. That's what you're there for. Do the fucking job.
Yeah, get the job done. Yeah, celebrate when you win your trophy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dan, that sounds like
you get, because I get some of these people sometimes, because I do a bit of training, and they come to me and I'm going to want to be a champion. Yeah, I'm going to be massive. And their physique's all right, probably boosted up with a little bit of genetics on top. And so they're looking all right. And they come in, and then after leg extensions, they've got like, oh, they've got migraine, or my spine's fallen out, or like, and you're like, no, I'm trying to show you like a new line. You're like, you're not hitting the line. And the line is like going and training with someone to set that new goalpost that you didn't think existed. Do you know what I mean? So, and that is, like you said, it's a mental thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can actually get there. I always say to someone, if I give you a tenner, could you do an extra rep? Probably could do an extra rep, right? If I gave you 100 quid, could you do another one on top of that? Yeah. Yeah, you could probably do another one, couldn't you? Now, if I put a fucking knife to your mum's throat, yeah, do you reckon you could do another one? And that's the real, you fucking could.
Yes.
You could do it.
Yes.
You could do it. But people, like, that's the limitations, you know?
Yeah, it's the ones that, when they come to you for the first time, as you just said, for a training session, and they tell you, I train hard, and you know straight away, do they train hard?
Yeah.
You know?
Although, yeah, I felt that, and it's like, we've like got about 2 more warm-ups.
Like, the best one, it was a girl that Lisa trained, and she said it was legs you did with her as well. So it was the first session. It was legs was the first session.
What was her opening?
She said, I can train hard. Push me as much as you like. I've trained with all these top people. Yeah, just give me what. So Lisa said to her, she was doing some leg extensions, leg curls, and she said, right, that's the warm-up done. And she said, you can fuck off. Came to reception, got her car keys, and fucking drove away.
Like that. Oh, okay, bye. Bye. Okay.
I have had someone go to the toilet and never return. Just got to have a wee, never return. Luckily paid first.
Do you remember he brought his cousin? And he did that. We did fucking 2 sets, and he literally, oh, mind you, hang on, I'll tell you another one now. He literally went to the toilet, had his zoop up, went out the fucking back door, never saw him again. I had 3 boys a couple of weeks ago. And if you're going to come as more than one, I'm not doing this fucking hanging around for 2 other people to train. I'm not doing that shit. So I put one on a leg curl, one on the leg press, one on the leg extension, right? 3 minutes non-stop. As soon as the 3 minutes was done, you went on to the next piece, the 3 minutes started again. Went on to the next piece, 3 minutes started again. No resting, 3 minutes non-stop. If they stopped, the clock stopped and it started again at 3 minutes. Well, the young boy, after I found out it was his first ever session, ever.
And last.
Never mind legs, first ever session. He did 9 minutes, went outside, was sick, and he stayed there for 4 hours until somebody came to collect him and put him in the car and take him home. 9 minutes.
Oops.
Well, somebody could have told me. Fucking hell.
Never been in a gym. And he gave him like a 9-minute fucking...
He's not coming back, is he? Let's be fair.
He's never ever training again, ever.
No. But I think one of the other who was that? And went in the gym and never said, "That's it. I'm never going to train again."
Well, when you saw Ernie Taylor.
Yes.
So there was a seminar. Well, Phil, Johnny, you know Phil Spooner, don't you? I don't know if anybody else knows Phil. Yeah, he's an over 50s competitor now. But he used to run a gym in Pyle. So what is now Richie O'Donnell's gym? Yeah. So Phil, he was the first. He started that gym, didn't he? So anyway, we had a seminar there with Ernie Taylor, and he was like literally 2-3 weeks out from the night of the champions. And I mean, Ernie was his peak then, and he was looking fantastic. So one of the boys, Johnny, brought him, this kid, into the gym. Donnie just started training, and he literally saw Ernie, said, "I'm never going to be able to look like that again," and never fucking went back to the gym.
So what must have been inspiration?
No,
was it?
No.
I'm guessing he does men's physique now then.
What, Ernie Taylor?
No, this guy obviously.
No, I saw Ernie Taylor not too long ago. Definitely doesn't do men's physique.
No.
He's still big, isn't he?
He's still fucking big. Still got
Yeah.
And those fucking triceps. Do you remember that? Do you remember they used to get shit because they were like, yeah, they're putting he's putting oil in his triceps. And I remember Dorian was announcing, it was like, I don't know, fucking what date it was. And Dorian just went, well, the thing you got to ask yourself about oil is if you're going to put it somewhere, why didn't he put it in his calves?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Like if you're going down that route, like that's what I say. Some people just have a strong body part. Like you'd put it in your weak body part, right? Is that what you do?
Yes.
Apparently, I think site injections are a little bit more used than we think. But
unfortunately, I will say this, right? If anybody out there that's doing it and honestly believes the judges don't know, you're more fools than it. It is so obvious when you're doing it. So obvious.
What's the worst one you've seen?
Well, there was one that was an Arnold in the amateurs. There was a guy from Italy, and his shoulders were like fucking ridiculous. And so,
what do you mean? There was nothing wrong with it. What are you on about?
So, and this guy ended up being in the top 6. So.
And what happened to the judges?
So the Pavel from Poland, the head judge, said, look, okay, this guy's in the top 6. He kind of shouldn't have been there, but he is where he is. So just kind of place him accordingly, right? This guy was Italian. A couple of the Italian judges placed him fucking first. Literally, he threw him off the panel, took their international judges' cards off him, and told them to fuck off. So, yeah. Yeah.
But again, going back to the 5 things we look for: symmetry, balance, proportions, conditions applicable to the class, and overall stage presence.
And
there was no symmetry and balance in that whatsoever. None. So straight away, when he rolled out in the top 6, it was like, what the fuck? So yeah, good they were taken off the panel because he was shite. But,
I've seen some gross ones. Like I seen a guy like who had an abscess in like what looked like his rear delt, or it must have been like a site injection gone wrong. And as he was pausing, it like popped. Yeah, was like running.
Wasn't he doing like a back double bicep?
Yeah.
And then it just like exploded, and then he was like, "Yeah, I think I'll just leave."
Yeah, bye now. Because I mean, the thing is, whether you think it or not, we are trying to find a picture of health when you're judging.
Yeah.
So those little things like that seem to right, and that's one thing I will say when people haven't quite had the results they want, and the first thing they say was, "Oh, they marked me down. The judges marked me down." Nobody is. No, that's a lie. I did mark somebody down once, but anyway, that's another story. You're never ever marked down. So don't think that. It's just if anybody is better than you, they're just better than you.
Yeah, it's not as though when you're being judged, you start with 100 points and it's taken off. You know, you don't get deducted points.
Yeah.
So, you know, no one's marked down. Go on, Lise, why did you actually mark one person down once? At a British finals, this was, wasn't it? Yeah. Go on, why?
Because he was pissed on the stage. Absolutely bollocksed. Absolutely bollocksed. Yeah. And they were in the lineup, and they'd been doing everything they had to do. They did the compulsories, everything. And the worst part about it, he was at the time, he was quite a good competitor, and he did quite well. But he was just literally so disrespectful to his fellow athletes, so disrespectful to the MC, the judges, and I'm sorry, I just could not award that attitude stage presence.
Who was it?
Somebody. Stage presence.
So the scores had already gone in, and you put your hand up, didn't you? I remember watching you put a hand up, asked for the scores back, and she actually marked him down then.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I won't say who it is, but it's the same person that I made cry.
What does their name rhyme with?
Tosser, no. Because funny enough, I said to him, "Can I have a word?" And I sat him down and I asked him to reflect on his actions, and he just sat there and went, it's like, oh, fuck.
This was at an international show, and, you know, obviously it was a team of us, and yeah. He wasn't a team player, let's just put it like that.
No, such a shame. Yes.
Has anyone ever shat themselves on stage?
Oh, that happened at one of Mike and Leica's show. It happened in 2012. No, 2011. The Inter's under 90s. That's Sam. Do you know Sam Pierce?
Oh, yeah.
I was in the Inter's over 90s, and because I stood right at the curtain ready, and I could hear him, and he goes, "If anybody can smell anything, it's me, because I shit myself." And then he was supposed to be the first routine back out, so he ran backstage, and the whole show came to a grinding halt because he was in the shitter cleaning himself up.
Oh God, that's always been my number one fear.
What were you doing? A double bicep and squeezing and squeezing? Oh shit!
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think at my size it would be enough for the trunks to hold either.
That's not the tan running.
I think I think the judges would be having some turkey dinner.
But of course, the thing is, though, really,
but you don't get marked down.
The colour of your trunks makes a difference as well.
Oh, that's good. That's another one. And if I've stuffed my pants correctly from the front, maybe it could just fill them out.
Well, talking symmetry.
Well, and balance.
Back.
Yeah, but obviously, just don't wear white trunks.
No.
Who wears white trunks anyway?
Oh, we've seen white trunks, believe me.
With a little tan stain, apparently. Yeah. Oh, not a good look. Yes.
Oh, go on, Jack. You look like you're going to talk, pal.
No, I was going to say, so obviously with this year, shows have been a bit of a washout. Do you have any plans for being a part of any future shows coming up at all?
Yeah, we've been asked to be part of the FitX show. So they've asked us to sort of head judge at the expo, but also there's some other shows going to be running. They don't want to do too many, but there's going to be one in Wales and a couple of other places around the country. So the guys have asked us to get involved with that as well.
You're not running the one in Wales, you?
Not as well. We got to chat with them about it. I'm not sure to what extent they want us, involved. Whether it's just sort of heading up the judging. So I got to sit down with Darren from FitX and ask him basically what he wants. We'll probably, though, I mean, it's been nice in some ways not to run a show this year, because it is a lot of work, isn't it? So it's been nice, but then we probably will run one next year.
Yes. Obviously, we'll be part of the NAB Wales with Darren. So that's good because again, that's just so much fun. You know, it's so much fun being part of it. But the best part, because obviously we've done loads with Darren, we support him in any way, but really we just rock up, have the best time with the judges, the competitors, you know, a little bit of aftercare, and then go home again. So it's pressure free.
Lise.
You know,
Lise, 2007, 2018. Yeah, 2018. When Dan didn't have a qualifier to go to, and he turned up for the class 1 and pretty much did a guest appearance in class 1. Who would have won, him or Neil Andrews?
No, was I there?
What's that?
Was I there?
Yes, you were. Dan looked absolutely immense. I was stood next to him looking like a small child. What's that?
Was I sat in the middle?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I would have been head judge. But of course, the thing is, as head judge, it's my job to judge the judges, not the competitors.
Oh, slopey shoulders.
To be fair, I was gutted because I saw Neil and I was like, okay, not this time. Is there a way that you could ban him so that he doesn't win it 11,000 times?
Yeah, I'm afraid I can't up until 10,999, but the 11,000 one.
Yeah, the 11,000th Welsh champion.
He's not far off anyway, is he? So.
Oh,
say again, John.
He's not far off that number, is he?
Yeah, he's quite.
Oh, you got at least 7 to go. You're all right.
Given obviously with NABA, their show is quite different, and they obviously do the pre-judging in the morning, and then obviously do the show in the afternoon. Is this changing next year?
Yes, it was. It would have changed this year. It was going to be a run through at the NABA Wales, but obviously the show didn't go ahead. But yeah, it will do, because even with what was there last year, 40 or 50 competitors maybe, and then you're still not finishing till whatever time at night now. Things, you know, we used to love doing a pre-judging and a night show. You know, sort of back years ago, people would treat it like a night out, and the atmosphere in Port Talbot would be like unbelievable in the night. I can remember people standing on their chairs, you know, and it'd be brilliant. But of course, it's a different time now. I mean, the thing is, the competitors want to compete in their class and then fuck off and go and eat, don't they? You know, so then by the end of it, there's nobody in the audience. I mean, you know, when shows sort of changed to that format, I remember like being in a lot of shows emceeing, and I'd be having individual conversations with people in the crowd, you know, when you're on stage, because there's no fucker there at the end.
Yeah.
Well, Dan knows this one, right? Because obviously, if you're class 1 at NABA, you register the same time as everyone else.
Yes.
You're the last class to be judged, and the last class on, and then obviously if you're lucky, you're in the overall. But the only problem with NABA I find frustrating is that you're there all that time in the afternoon. There is not even a judging table there. So like, it's gone again.
You're breaking up.
No, your Wi-Fi internet.
Right. 2 seconds. Let me.
So we got to the afternoon.
Yeah, no, it's just in the afternoon.
On. You said that's the afternoon.
There's no judging table. Can you hear me? No.
Yeah. So now, So what happens with NABA is, it's not all the judging. When it was a day and a night show, all the judging would be done in the pre-judging, and the only thing that's judged again in the night is the overall, which.
But of course, the thing is, then that's where it's times then it can be a little bit hard for a lot of the people that come in the evening only. So they'd only come in the night show. And of course, they may see competitor 17 and the winner. And you think, 13 looks much better. Yeah, but in the pre-judging, 17 was looking spot on, has now eaten, drunk, relaxed, and he's just... So, of course, as a spectator, the best time to come in an ABBA show is through the day, because that's when the pre-judging is done.
As was, yeah.
So now is taking the same sort of process as everybody else. So hopefully then they'll see the winners looking the best, the same as we do as judges. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dan, you're looking rather large this week, pal. Are you any heavier this week?
Fucking suffering. I weighed at 305 this morning and I feel like AIDS.
How tall are you, Dan?
6'1" apparently.
Apparently.
I was 6'2" when I got measured when I used to be naughty at the cop shop. But I think I've shrunk.
Yeah, you might even be less than 6 foot now.
Yeah, I've shrunk. But yeah, all I know is that wearing socks is a fucking dick.
So what are you saying? You haven't actually put on any weight. You've just gone like that.
Yeah, just into a puddle, like just into a puddle shape. Yeah. So
Win-win.
So from far away, I just look like a midget.
Okay.
But then close up, look a little bit taller.
So probably by about Christmas, you won't even have to bend down to put your socks on.
That'd be nice.
There we are. Win-win.
You won't be able to play that game then, catch your toe with your sock.
Mate, I fucking hate that game so much. And also, if I don't do it in one breath, I'm fucked. Like, I have to do it, like, breathe in and get the sock on. And then if I, like, miss it, and I have to, like, and then I'm like, and then it's like, Jesus, you're right, you're having a heart. It's just my socks. So it's like, even my dogs come in sometimes. Oh my God, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, it's the socks. And then they usually eat the socks, and then I just give up. Just don't wear socks.
You're at that stage where if you drop something on the floor, you have to seriously consider whether it's worth picking it up or not.
Yeah. If it's a tenner, fuck it as well. Like, also, depending how fast I bend over, I might shit myself anyway. There's so many complications.
Well, the thing is, at least you'll have a use for your socks that are on the floor then anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know, every positive.
Yeah, and the dog can eat the shit anyway. They're sort of into that.
Exactly. Lick your asshole and good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we were talking about B-days last week, so...
and the week before.
Well,
And the week before, yeah. I think we need to tone that down a
We
bit.
talk about them a lot.
we were still trying to figure out what the fuck the B-day was. But I asked someone at work, and he reckons it's just instead of wiping your ass.
Yeah, it is. Just turn the shower upside down and sit on it. Job done.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's called an enema, but maybe this is...
sit on it, not stick it up there. Just
Oh, right. I mean, it depends. I've heard some instructions similar to that on Pornhub that haven't quite ended like that.
Again, I've told you to stop doing that. Can't leave it for a minute.
There we go. We got the B-day answer after 3 weeks. That was good.
Mind
No,
you,
I think-
you do know now you can get toilets with B-days actually attached, don't you?
Yeah, I heard that. I'm definitely into that.
Yeah, but the only trouble is you have got to be sat over it before you fucking press the button.
Yeah. Otherwise, it gives...
Otherwise, it's just a face wash, really.
Uh,
I mean, it's pretty good if you're £305. I'm sure you'd probably use it for both things, really.
Well, you're not going to jump up too fucking fast, are you?
It might push you. It might push you up a little bit.
being on the toilet is one of the times where I can almost get my socks on, or at least off. So the timing, it's good.
Tell you what I've got, because the person who lived in my house before me was disabled, so my toilet downstairs is actually slightly higher. So it's fucking great after leg day.
Does it have a little? Does it have a little hat like me? Does it have a little handle?
But there was a handle there that you could use to stand up on as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, you should definitely get one.
I'm definitely, I'm up for that. Alice will definitely like that. It will go well with her potpourri and Hugo Boss towels.
Here we go. There's enough room on that back wall there. I'm sure you could slide it in there.
I just slide in a shitter in there.
Yeah, there we are.
To be fair, my dog is grown. I'm going to have to get a bigger dog crate because my dog's basically, I went and looked at him the other day and he was like doubled up in there. I'm feeling a bit bad.
What dog is it?
I've got an Italian Mastiff, kind of like a Cane Corso.
Big dog.
Oh.
Yeah, big fuck off.
Dead big, that would have done.
Big fucking murder dog.
So his dog is as uncomfortable as he is at the moment.
Yeah, well, no, he's used to it. My Frenchie's not comfortable because he's got a stupid flat face. And so, like, he can't, like, breathe. He's got sleep apnea like me, but I can't get him like a dog machine like I've got.
Do you share the mask?
Yeah. No, he tries to attack the mask. He's scared of the mask. So it took some getting used to because he kept trying to rip the mask off. So, yeah. So,
Lisa, how's your sausage dog?
Don't talk about him like that. I've told you before.
Have you got a
Okay.
Dachshund? Dachshund's a Satan.
No,
One
no.
minute, hang on, I'll just get him now.
I had a Dachshund, and I had to get rid of him because he was
Yeah,
an
good,
asshole.
because they're Satan. I've only been attacked by one type of dog. It's a Dachshund.
Here he is.
Yes, Princey.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I've got one of them.
That's the only
You don't
one
have to
she's
clean
allowed.
up after it. It doesn't eat your furniture.
Look, I even yeah. Hang on, then. Hold on a minute.
Shit,
What
man.
the fuck?
So Dan, basically, Mike won't let
Fuck
Lisa.
you, bitch.
These aren't dog's ashes or anything weird, are they?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a Dan Elmer special.
Don't let him hear you say that. No, you're not. You were from the Boston Pounds. Oh, Mr. Bond.
So we're still on a no-no with a dog, we Mike?
Yep. Well, I just keep reminding her that, I mean, you know, Lisa likes the house clean and tidy. The dog is just going to fuck it up, basically.
That
I'm
doesn't
sure you'd be
exist.
surprised at that.
That doesn't exist at all. We have 2 dogs and the place is literally madness. The only good thing that we've got is that we cage them. So at least when we're not watching, they don't fucking destroy everything. But yeah, the dog swallows mad stuff. Sometimes like he takes a shit and I'm like, why is there like a comb in it? Like
I love how Dan claims it's just the dogs that get caged, yet he's sat in his like slightly bigger cage there.
I'm sat in
Flowers on the
my
wall over there.
He's like Harry Potter.
No, I am allowed a very small section of the bed with my CPAP, and like if I sleep at like an angle, she doesn't know I'm there.
Small section, like £305. I can't imagine there's any small section you're taking.
Mate, anyone who knows shares a bed with a woman, I don't know how they do it, but that happens. Doesn't matter how fucking big you are, you're segregated to this like sunken little edge. Doesn't matter like what size you are, what size she is. You're just delegated to this fucking. I'm just hanging off.
See,
Mike?
you boys just know how lucky you are.
In my day, I used to sleep in a septic tank, lick it clean for Sunday dinner.
Oh,
You were lucky.
You were spoiled.
Right. So just quickly before we move on, I want to do this because we'll forget. We did a competition last week, so we said that we were gonna pick a winner from our YouTube. So I think
Winner.
can you hear me?
No, I mean it's a good thing. Really, I wasn't going to say anything.
Fuck you.
Wow.
Come on.
So, let me see if I can get rid of this. What I want to do is this one. So
What are we looking at?
Yeah, that's me as a gibbon.
Oh, yeah.
so we need to pick a winner from these comments
Oh,
Yeah,
for the
That one.
t-shirt.
What does it have to be a relevant comment?
No,
Or is it
Johnny,
just-
you've got to do a random number selector and then go down.
Yeah, all right. Get them to pick a number, and then we'll pick which number.
Right, Mike and Lisa, pick a number.
Between 1 and 36.
22.
92.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck me. You're gonna make it easier for me or what?
Johnny, I hope you're counting these.
I was going to say.
It's going to be a disliker's going to win. Fucking hell.
This one.
Gaming Conkers. I don't think he even fucking wants it, does he? Gaming Conkers. What's he won?
The t-shirt from Anth.
You think he wants a hardcore 100% nasty or nothing flannel shirt?
He asked the question about
Gaming.
Ronnie, Phil, and Dorian Yates, so I think he must be into.
You did message him saying we'll bring this question on to the next podcast.
So-
The sport.
So gaming conquers.
3.
Congratulations, Gaming Conkers.
Make yourself known.
Make yourself known.
Give us your email.
Did we get any information about the disliker?
No.
There was actually a guy who disliked our video to try and win the t-shirt.
You misinterpreted what I was talking about.
Did he make a comment as well?
Yeah, he commented saying that he disliked it on purpose so that he could give information to say it was him that disliked it, and so that he could win the T-shirt, which was actually a very smart thing to do. But
a cunning plan.
We should give it to him.
Fired.
it's a bit late.
All right,
can-
well, well done, Conker.
Whoever he is,
Conker.
he can take this dislike away, please.
Yeah. I did. Fucking cunt. When I find you're going to eat your fucking face.
No, he can't. He can. Can't. No, he can't.
Fucking.
Did you boys have any more questions?
Yeah, do you think Ryan is £327?
Lisa's like Ryan who?
Who's Ryan?
Exactly the answer.
Yeah, good. Moving on.
Are we going to do the five questions?
Yeah, every week we usually ask for 5 top tips. Could be for beginners. That's like phones for you. Fuck off for you. So we asked 5 top tips. Could be for beginners. Could be some advanced one. Doesn't have to be bodybuilding related. You know, I think Lisa's, you know, she's aged very well. Maybe there could be a beauty tip in there for the ladies. Mike, not so much.
Yeah, the ladies wouldn't want to hear my beauty tip.
I don't know. I think that your eyebrows would be considered on fleek. I've heard this.
Down with the kids, down.
Yeah, see, I heard that at work. On fleek. Yeah, it was like when bad. You remember when when I was young, bad meant good. Like, yeah, that's bad, and it was good. And then it was like, and then Michael Jackson was like, yeah, bad, and then Michael Jackson obviously was a pedo, so that was like even worse than when bad first started. So it's like double bad.
Oh, bad.
And now, so like, yeah. So now I'm just keeping up with the lingo. You get me, fam?
Like back in the day when old people thought LOL meant lots of love.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, good turned to bad, turned to sick.
Yeah, turn to bad. Yeah, sick blood.
Yeah.
Like back in the day where you'd get a message off an elderly member in your family and they put lol on the end, but it was some bad news. Like your auntie, auntie just passed away. Lol.
Yeah. The one that got me actually was peak. Peak is something that the Ute Dem do say, and peak can mean peak. I thought it was bad, and then someone said like no, like peak is the peak is good, right? So
Yeah,
then I was like peak is bad, and then they were like no, peak's good. Did some research. Turns out peak can be good or bad depending on how you say it. It's a fucking minefield out there, guys.
Honestly, I think I'll stay with the oldies, thanks.
Watch out for it. You know, well, I've got to stay on my toes. You know,
Obviously, you know, but I mean, the thing is as well, you know, you look sick, you're pretty reamed, so things are good.
Yeah, ream, innit?
Ream.
And anyway, fuck them. They don't even know their timetables. I know they're laughing, and they're like, my school teacher said I'd never have a calculator on me. And I've got a calculator. Fuck maths. Yeah. But still, really, you're still going to look like a fucking moron when you can't add up a fucking Krispy Kreme donut and a Mars bar. Oh.
Yeah, until he sold himself on YouTube and he's earning more money than you.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. God damn you, Ryan.
Yeah.
I think it was YouTube.
Yeah.
No, there was another one, but we won't go into that.
No, that's
he was selling himself somewhere else too.
OF.
Lots of love.
So yeah, 5 tips, Mike, Lisa. Basically, like Dan said, could be anything really, but like for example, stuff that people might like after your years of wisdom, stuff you may have wished you knew when you started that you know now.
The hindsight handbook. Oh, that's catchy. Let's go into next week.
Think tank.
Keeper.
Go on, then, number 1.
Number 1, don't be driven by weight.
That's me, fucked.
Right, let's go. Right. I've eliminated one. Let's get on to that. Twitch all the fucking time. 2.
Yeah. Don't retire every year. Oh no, that's Johnny. Well, really putting some dud ones here today.
But on that, Dan, I think bodybuilders are like boxers. You always think there's another fucking show.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes there isn't. Like Kevin Levrone.
Know when to hang the trunks up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Levrone was like, I did see that he was the only one who left the Olympia in a private jet.
Yeah, he cashed in, didn't he? Let's be fair.
So, I'm sure there was
and I suppose the IFBB kind of cashed in on it as well, because my take on that was he shouldn't have. I mean, there was other people who just missed out on qualification. He didn't rightly qualify for that fucking show, but it was just obviously the hype that people wanted to see him on.
I was just sad about that because I'm a huge Kevin fan, and I think anyone who's a bodybuilder is a huge Kevin fan, and he kind of dropped the legacy a bit for me. I was like, you know, that's how I felt.
Yeah, but I think, Dan, you could have taken something from that part, because like his upper body was great, and
yeah, you can.
Sorry, my tip is just no matter what training method you use or training style, etc., but it's just hard work wins every time. So just work hard.
Next one to competitors, don't have a go. If you're going to do it, do it. Don't have a go. If you're going to have a go, wait until you're ready to do it.
Everyone kind of says this, consistency, but with a big but on it. I'd rather people come to the gym and train their bollocks off for 2 or 3 times a week than just merely show up. You could be showing up, and that's being consistent 6 times a week, but you're not actually putting any effort in. But, you know, be consistent with however many times a week you're training, or with your diet, etc. You know, there has got to be that proviso on it.
Well, I think this is another thing that people just misinterpret, and they grab bits from here and there. Oh, consistent. If you're consistently shit, then you'll still be shit, won't you? Like, the idea is that because we're like, once you get to a certain, you kind of assume, or if you're training people or you're doing online stuff, you assume that everyone's actually getting their fucking balls out, aren't you? And so, like, then they hear like consistency. Oh yeah, I must be consistent. You know, and people just misinterpret it. And so they're doing consistently shit. They're doing keto in the morning, but because they like bacon, and they're doing carb backloading it in Krispy Kremes, and then they're doing intermittent fasting because they don't like eating in the evening because they have some beers, and they just mix it all together in this shit pot and think they're doing it, and then think, well, I want to be a champion.
Yeah, but they do that shit every day consistently.
Yeah, so smashing it. #blessed on the fucking Instagram.
Yeah, because actually on consistency, I put something up a couple of weeks ago, and because it was something went again on social media. They're consistent for 12 weeks. Fuck 12 weeks. Do it for fucking 12 years.
Yeah, 12 years.
Yeah, you know, and as we said, so I put a photograph of myself, 12 days, 12 weeks, 12 months, 12 years, and they're consistently fucking on point.
Yeah, bigger chest than most people.
Yeah.
Consistently working my chest. That's what I do.
But if you don't take the tablet, then you can consistently have chlamydia, and that's not a good thing.
Exactly.
But again,
some things you got to clear up.
But that's something we can share together.
Well, that's nice, isn't it?
I think
the perks of a husband.
I think we had 4, so there's one more.
Oh, I only heard 1. These are going great.
Well, we had consistency, hard work. What was the first one?
Tip: make sure you
wear a condom.
Do it, don't have a go, and the rest of it I can't remember.
The weight, wasn't it? The weight. So that was 4.
No, the weight, that doesn't count.
We got 4. We got a 5th one. Yeah.
My last one, as you said something about girls. Girls, more than anything, you are girls in a girls' sport. You are not girls in a boys' sport. Please, girls, run your own race. You are females. Femininity is where it's absolutely at in the girls' competitors. Men, you do your thing. But girls, you're in a girls' sport.
I think femininity's in the men's one as well, no, isn't it?
Yeah, Geraint in a girls' sport, mate.
Jack, now Jack.
Yeah.
Oh, Jack, is that Jack asking for another training session, I hear?
But then again, I am a natural bodybuilder, so you could.
Oh, he hasn't said it. He hasn't said it yet.
Oh, hold on, didn't say it. Get your
Hashtag
fucking
natty
mentals
for
up,
life.
vegans.
And mate, you cry on your own on a machine, let alone play with Lisa. Lisa will make you fucking groan.
Yeah, are you going to be one of those guys in the gym, Jack, when you're like 45? Yeah, I could have been Mr. Olympia, but I'm so natty, I just didn't bother. Yeah, I would have been this. You're going to be that annoying cunt in the gym, aren't you? That just goes around going, yeah, I eat kale burgers, but fucking because I'm just so natty. And you're just going to whinge and win. I could have been something. And you're not. Just a measly, grey, boring fuck. There's always one of those in every
Yeah, but then
gym.
Dan, yours would be, I'd have been Mr. Olympia if I had legs.
There it is.
I'm never going to tell the story.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls, and the only one that's not a fucking bitch is me. That's right, huh?
That's why this podcast is so successful. Talking about ripping people, I posted my vacuum for you this week, Geraint.
Yeah.
Tag me in something, didn't you? I don't know what it was.
It was literally just for you. Like, it was literally
well, all I seen was you posing on stage. You just tagged the three of us, and I was like, well, I'm not putting on my story.
It says vacuum on it, you fucking dumbass.
All right.
Boys, I thought we were talking household appliances then.
No, I mean, I
was going to send a photo back of my fucking Henry downstairs, but you know, I thought,
well,
fuck me.
What's the fucking point in that, like?
Henry downstairs.
Give me
You've taken the top hat off.
I didn't realise the vacuum photo would have that good of an effect on you, pal. But if you want to send me a picture of your Henry, you can. You know what I mean?
If you want it, bud. If you want it, you can have it.
Well, a female Henry. I think she's called
like I said with a vacuum. Yeah, I can do a vacuum.
Alice says the female version's called a hetty. So, like, you can be, you can...
What's the one that's not sure of his gender? What's it called?
There's a green one, though. I think it's for water. Yeah, it's a water hoover. I don't know whether...
There's a blue one as well, isn't there?
Oh, really?
No, that's just the real man's one.
And then there's a rainbow one. There's a bit of everything.
You can just move through them. They have different powers. Like, once you've upgraded and you've got like the dick pump challenge ready to fill out your trunks, then you move from the Henry to the Hetty, then the water one.
I believe there's 3 put backstage for the males.
Yeah. And the females. It helps with the dryness. helps dry them out. That's what I heard. Yeah. No need for
Henry
diuretics.
On one side, Henry on the other.
Oh, Jonathan. There we. There's a blue one.
Oh no,
James.
George, Harry, Newback. Newback's quite an interesting name.
He's the immigrated one.
Well, I'm leaving that alone.
I'm leaving that alone.
Question is it a COVID one now? Are they going to build a COVID one? You know, suck all the shit away, like.
That was shit, guy.
We actually managed to do a whole episode without talking about COVID. Then
I ruined it. Right.
What's the new laws? You have to wear a face mask in your bedroom when you're wanking or something, in case you give yourself COVID.
Yeah, and whatever you do, don't touch anything when you're finished.
Yeah,
fine.
Just wipe it on the cat and pretend it never happened.
This is useful information for Dan because his missus is 2 weeks out, so you definitely ain't getting any.
Mate, my house is open plan. I'm not getting away even with a fucking 3-pump hand fizzle, mate. I'm not getting nothing. Should be creeping on me. Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, there's definitely none of that happening 1 week out.
Sad times.
No. It is sad times. Come on, Ron, I'll show you my real dog.
I'm bending down.
Oh, give a real dog.
Oh. See? Just
What
get
is
one
that?
of these. He won't mess your house up too much.
Oh.
He'll be all right. Little smashed face. Little
Fix his
smashed
face.
face. There you go.
There you go.
Oh,
Was that the dog or Dan then making that noise?
we do make similar noises, to be fair. The other dog's a real dog, but I can't pick him up because he's too fucking massive. All right, well, it's been lovely having you on. And you can tell that the guests are good when I don't talk much.
So you can get a word in edgeways.
Well, we
I
did
mean,
get two. We did
it's a
get two for
double-edged
the
sword,
price of
really.
one.
It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Like, people want to see Dan's fuckery, but they also want a good guest. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't want to interrupt the golden nuggets, you see. I don't want to, you know. And we got two for the price of one, which never happens at my local brothel. And you know, it's sometimes it's hard to cope with.
Well, you know it is.
I can understand it was a lot for you to take in, Dan.
It was. And as my brain is so small, I can only hold so much information. Think of what I've lost. Like past birthday memories, like childhood memories. There's only room for so much in there.
The month you're going to get married.
I'm getting married?
Not anymore, you're not.
Okay, no. Yes, we'll see about that. Yes.
Good.
Right. It was great having you on, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm
Thank you, guys.
Peace out.
going to come for one of these leg sessions one day.
Yes,
Yes.
No,
definitely.
you won't.
I'll come in. Right, okay, well, I'm coming with Jack now for him being
So
a
we're aiming
fucking...
for sometime between June or July.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
got
maybe
1
June.
month free.
Maybe June. I've got one of them. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to figure out whether I'm allowed to go to my wedding over £300. So we'll have to.
Is that a choice of yours?
No, I don't have a choice in the wedding thing. Of course, I don't have any of these choices. I wanted to get married in a kilt, but apparently my family tartan doesn't match the colour scheme, so that's out. And you know, maybe I wanted to invite some friends, but they're not allowed. So basically,
we're not allowed.
I don't really know what's in it for me. I mean, it was kind of a trap, really. I thought maybe the engagement I could draw out for a couple of years to get extra blowjobs, and then basically, you know, it just escalated so quickly. We were looking at venues, and then apparently it's actually happening. I didn't really realise this happened. I kind of like, I'm used to the chav thing, you know, you're like, oh, he loves her, pays, gets engaged. Well, we've been engaged 19 years now. Or maybe buy her a promise ring. Oh, a promise ring. I promise one day that I will, yeah. But no, getting married in June or July.
And you've done the blowjob thing before marriage.
Well, I know God's not impressed. I did it myself.
And you
Are you fucking? You can't even put his socks on.
Fucking hell. One day, love. One day.
I'd have to do. That's probably the only reason I want to be able to pull a vacuum. The one-trick pony. Oh, you can pull a vacuum. You know what that means? You fucking weirdos.
You know what that means? You're obviously married.
Yeah, yeah. 2 ribs gone and some smudged lipstick you've worn. Right, that's probably enough of me. I should probably leave.
On that bombshell.
Yes, well, that was a reasonable bombshell.
Reasonable
All right, big
bombshell.
love.
Peace out.
Thank you, mate.
Bye, guys.